Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is now 6:11 p.m. Central, 7:11 p.m. Eastern, and you have a live look at a extremely dangerous supercell that's very close to becoming a tornadic supercell here, likely producing a strong water spout right now, sweeping onto shore near Emerald Isle, North Carolina. This is all due to AL95. It has managed to create several storms that managed to become tornado warned today, but this is by far the most impressive one. Look at that velocity couplet as it sweeps onto Emerald Isle. If you are in Emerald Isle, you need to run to your safe spot. This is coming in very shortly here. Again, this is almost certainly producing a water spout and maybe even a tornadic water spout. Cape Carteret, you also need to seek shelter. Swansboro, seek shelter. Peltier, seek shelter. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation. This has materialized really quickly. And I'd also just like to point out, look at that hook echo. This is not something you see very often, and when you do see it, you usually end up seeing some devastating impacts. So again, we've got to hope that this does not end up like that. Unfortunately, it's looking like, again, this could produce a pretty strong tornado as it moves onto land here. So again, we need everybody to seek shelter immediately in this area. Again, this is not a good situation, and again, this is going to go right into Emerald Isle. So if you're in this area, you need to run to your safe spot right now. Again, an extremely dangerous velocity couplet just came out of nowhere on the most recent scan. We are talking about gate-to-gate shear with this being like 97 miles an hour, or excuse me, like 87, 88 miles an hour. But again, it's strengthening, and that's the big problem here. So again, we definitely could be talking about a tornado about to sweep onto shore near Emerald Isle. So seek shelter immediately if you have not already. This is a dangerous situation here. Give me just a minute. Got to message one of my friends because he has a beach house out in this area. Wow, look at that hook echo. That is not good. Again, this very well could be a tornado about to sweep onto shore here. This is an extremely dangerous situation. Let me get stream chat up here because, again, this is a huge deal. This is not good. Not good at all. Jeez Louise. Okay. What's up, Gooseman? What's up, Alan? Again, if you're just not tuning in, we may have a tornado on the ground right now, sweeping onto shore near Emerald Isle, North Carolina. Again, if anybody's at the beach out here, you need to get into your safe spot immediately. We shouldn't have anybody out here, though, because there is obviously been noticed that a potential tropical storm was sweeping through. And again, it didn't end up becoming a tropical storm. However, it is still definitely going to produce some tropical tornadoes. Again, I would be hard-pressed to believe that that's not a water spout right now. Again, we're waiting for this next velocity scan. It's not coming in for some reason, but it will be here in just a moment. So, I'm sure of it. Again, this is a really dangerous storm. Most likely the most dangerous storm we've seen all day. Okay, the velocity couplet has weakened a little bit. Just a little bit. It's still a very dangerous situation. Again, that's going right into Emerald Isle. It's going to go near Emerald Drive, Highway 58, Archer Creek. And a little bit less concerning now. However, that's still likely a water spout. And again, that's a hook echo right there. Again, inflow poking into the storm indicative of rotation. Yes, there are severe thunderstorm warnings, Gooseman, and we're going to discuss that all later. We do have some severe thunderstorms up into the upper Midwest, but that's going to be something that we discuss a little bit later on in this stream. Again, right now we need to focus on this tornado-warned storm near Emerald Isle. So again, that is pretty concerning. Again, I was worried that it was going to continue to get stronger and it was going to look like that as it swept onto shore. Luckily, that didn't really happen, but we could have definitely had a big situation on our hands for a couple of minutes. But again, it is still a pretty big deal. And again, we definitely could still see a tornado out of this, but... So... We also have just insane flooding right now ongoing on the east coast of North Carolina, even going further inland, like back towards Cary. So, again, that's stuff we'll all discuss later whenever we're in a little bit more of a calm period of severe weather. But right now, we've got to stay entirely focused on our likely water spout here. Again, that is not good. Again, that's going right into the heart of Emerald Isle, so it's going to go right over Archer Creek, most likely. Again, obviously, you got a lot of beach houses out here. So, again, that's not good. Again, hopefully nobody's out in this area on the beach just because of how extremely non-beach-like conditions there are out here. You got flooding, tornadoes, damaging winds. But if there is anybody that is out here for whatever reason, and you know anybody out here, you need to let them know what's going on. Okay, we just took a significant hit there on the velocities. That is nothing anymore. That died out really fast, so that's good. Again, that was really, really concerning for like 5 minutes, and then now it's not. You still need to be in your safe spot if you're in Emerald Isle. You still are under a tornado warning. This could recycle. I think more than likely what happened is this kind of got swallowed up by this storm behind it. It's not really a discrete supercell, so it didn't really manage to produce that tornadic threat that we were originally thinking that it might. Again, there very well could still be a water spout down, but anyway. So, yes, we do have a double slight risk of severe weather today. This one is the more concerning one, right here on the east coast of North Carolina. The reason we are so concerned about this, the tornado threat, if you're in this brown area, you have a 5% chance to see a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. That includes Wilmington, Jacksonville, Beaufort, and New Bern, okay? We have not seen any tornadoes out here yet today, but we have seen several tornado warnings. We have a 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point up into the upper western Midwest as well. Damaging winds are going to be a big thing up there, and then hail is also going to be more of a tertiary threat in that region as well. But again, over the next couple of hours, we're going to continue to watch these little supercells sweep onto shore here in North Carolina. Again, we got kind of like a band of storms here about to sweep onto shore as well. If we just go ahead and play the radar, I have been watching the supercell for a little bit. I've been waiting for the weather to pick up. I've been watching for like 2 hours. Things have just not been active whatsoever, but things are picking up once again. And again, obviously with that tornado warning now, we've got some problems. Again, this is likely in Emerald Isle at this point. So if this is a tornado or a water spout, whatever, it is more than likely in or past Emerald Isle at this point. Again, that was pretty concerning for a little bit, but hopefully it's on the downward trend here. Again, look at all these little broad circulations we've got here with our storms just off the coast. No problem, Madama. But again, if you're just now tuning in, tornado warning in effect for Emerald Isle, North Carolina. Seek shelter immediately. Again, hopefully this is no longer a water spout. And this was definitely a water spout at one point. But we're hoping that it's not anymore. We're hoping that as it swept on the shore there, it kind of dissipated. The velocity coupling got a lot less impressive. Again, this is where we could have had a strong water spout, a very strong water spout. But now, you see the colors are a little bit less bright and they're a little bit more messy. That's indicative of some weaker rotation. So, but, again, this supercell I've been watching here for a while, and this was the one. This is definitely, again, the closest we've had today to a real disastrous moment. The flash flooding's been a big deal, but I'm talking about, like, the tornado threat. We were actually very close to a flash flood emergency, I imagine, near Southport, North Carolina. We did get a PDS flash flood warning, but we did not get a flash flood emergency. We have several flash flood warnings out there right now in North Carolina, though. Obviously, again, this was... I'm very surprised they didn't just name this Tropical Storm Helen. It had all those characteristics, but for whatever reason they didn't. However, it did bring Tropical Storm-like impacts, with all the flooding, damaging winds, a little bit of storm surge, and again, also a little bit of a tornado/water spout threat. Actually, quite a large one, to be fair. Yeah, still some messy circulation there now past Emerald Isle. See what the reflectivity looks like here on the next scan. But hopefully this storm is on the downward trend in general. There's a good chance of it, so we'll see. Yep, so we got a little cell merger here to poke into this thing, and that's killing it off even faster. So at this point, I think we can safely say that if you are in this tornado warning, you are fine. This seems to be one heck of a nothing burger. Again, it looked like we were going to have a serious problem. And again, if this did remain this strong for, 15, even just like 5 or 10 more minutes, we would have had a disastrous moment for Emerald Isle. But, again, things weakened out. We counted on Mother Nature there, and things were fine. So, look at the storm near Marysville, North Carolina. You're in Swansboro. Yeah, so Swansboro, I think, yeah, you are in that tornado warning there, obviously. But, again, at this point, I would say you were fine. In fact, likely this storm isn't even on track. Even if this were to produce a tornado, it would not be on track to head through Swansboro. It would go more to the north of you. But, again, at this point, you should be fine. Again, we've got messy rotation. It's going to get windy. It's going to get rainy. You may see some lightning. And obviously the tornado sirens are going to kind of freak people out, but at this point this is just a little thunderstorm here rather than a tornadic storm. The storm near Marysville, let's check that out. That's Maysville. Marysville. Are you talking about this one? Because I don't see a town called Marysville. Just gonna assume you're talking about this. Yeah, there's a little bit of broad rotation there, but again, it looks kind of like our tornado warning storm. It's quite messy. But yeah, that's a good catch. And it kind of had that hook feature there for a little bit. Still does near Chadwick there. We'll watch that for sure. Yeah, it almost looks like we're starting to get a little bit of an uptick in rotation here. Near the Emerald Isle area once again. The weather's been really nasty over the last 24 hours. I imagine, again, I don't know if you're aware, but this, we were expecting this to turn into a tropical storm. It didn't end up doing that. But it did still bring quite a few thunderstorms to the area, so. But it almost looks like we're about to have a handoff situation here. I almost wonder if that wasn't a debris signature we saw in Emerald Isle there. On the newest correlation coefficient scan, we may have had a brief tornado hit Emerald Isle. Let's hope that wasn't the case. It very well could be contamination, but what's up, random? So again, just a little bit of an uptick in rotation there north of Emerald Isle. Again, at this point, I would say you only need to seek shelter if you are in kind of this little blue polygon here now that we have a better idea of where this rotation is really going to be going. So, Cape Carteret and Pelletier, make sure that you are seeking shelter. But again, Swansboro, I know we have some viewers watching from Swansboro. Swansboro is fine. Again, you may see some rain, and it's going to be windy, but that's about it. So again, there's a little bit of broad rotation there. This is near Emerald Isle, random. Getting near Country Club Point, Cape Carteret, and Cedar Point. Near Bogue. Again, now near Cape Carteret. Again, worst case scenario, this is a water spout that sweeps onto shore. Things get a little gusty for a little bit. And then things calm down. Yeah, fall starts in 6 days. I'm excited, dude. I'm ready for it. Seems to be some sort of rain band that often gets inclement weather. Interesting. Is that a cursed area for severe weather? Yeah, the tornado warning is in eastern North Carolina, right up along the coast. And while there are some communities out here, obviously with like beach houses and stuff, overall, I mean, this is a relatively rural area that this rotation is going to track through. Again, there are some homes, some beach houses, but it's not like this is hitting a massive city. Like if this was happening, near Jacksonville, then maybe this would be a bit bigger an issue, but it's not quite that big a deal. But again, there are people out here, so we're going to cover this. You get direct hits with hurricanes too. Yeah, it's been a rough year for this area. You had Debbie, not too long ago, honestly. You may have gotten some interesting rep currents from Ernesto, but other than that, you probably didn't feel much from it. And then now, you've got, again, what was close to tropical storm Helen. And North Carolina town is submerged underwater. Is that actually true? I've not heard about that. Oh, that's a nasty look. We may have a tornado on the ground near Cape Carteret. Again, I don't want to cause like panic, but again, this looks to be some intensifying rotation, and that could be a debris signature. It's a little bit far to the east, but remember the correlation coefficient scan did come in before the velocity scan, so that very well could be a tornado down in Cape Carteret near Country Club Point. So again, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately, away from windows on the lowest floor possible. In an interior room if you are in Cape Carteret, Cedar Point, Bucks Corner, Pelletier. And I think this is going to go just north of Swansboro. Again, it's the mesa colors there that we're watching for that potential tornado. Yeah, that's almost certainly a debris signature at this point. Again, that's a likely tornado on the ground there, so. I don't know, though. Again, that could just be contamination, but it looks to me like we may have a tornado near Taylor North Road. So, again, we need everybody in this area to seek shelter as soon as possible. Again, Swansboro is fine. This is going to go well north of Swansboro, I think. But, again, areas, I'd say, near Calhoun Slough Way need to look out. Grant Heron Place, Plantation Drive, South Plantation Lane, River Beach Drive. Again, I wouldn't place money on it, but I would say that's probably a tornado ongoing at this time. Again, we were kind of hoping that this would dissipate, but it doesn't look like that happened, unfortunately. So, lightning strike 7 miles northeast of Swansboro. Yeah, we can actually see that with the Radar Omega app. See, it's up here. Right up in that region. Over Hadnot Creek. So. Again, Swansboro is probably getting the worst of the rain right about now. It's probably getting quite heavy. Again, if they have like tornado sirens out here, obviously that's going to cause some panic. But Swansboro in general, again, I think this should go to the north of you. Yeah, that's what we were just discussing. Like, this was likely a brief tornado on the ground. So. Nothing yet. It'll get there within the next couple of minutes. Again, if you live north of town, I would be seeking shelter, but downtown Swansboro, you're fine at this point. It's almost a guarantee that if this is on the ground, it'll miss you. Again, this is crossing Dabbling Creek right now, so. And would you look at that? No longer any sort of real definitive debris in the atmosphere. Again, I do think we had a brief tornado, though, near Country Club Point. Yeah, again, if you're downtown, you're absolutely fine. Again, it's going to get rainy, it's going to get windy, but you're going to get missed by the actual tornado if there was one, so. No, but even if it curves at this point, unless it started heading southwest, which is almost physically impossible, then this will not hit Swansboro. Okay, so they did just condense that tornado warning, and Swansboro, again, part of town now isn't even included in it. The south side of town isn't. The west side of town isn't. Again, we're just concerned about the area north of Swansboro, really. Cedar Point and Cape Carteret, this is past you now. Okay, so this is interesting. We have a double velocity couplet now. Oh, that's weird. That is so weird. Gosh. So we have a very, very rare and interesting scenario where this storm has a double hook echo. One of them just on the north side of Swansboro, the other one being out near the Pelletier area. Again, both broad rotations. So, we're going to hope that neither of these are actively producing a tornado, but again, everybody in this warning needs to get to their safe place just to be safe. And again, to repeat, that is underground, away from windows. If you can't get underground, just get in the middle of your house, in an interior room. Again, that is weird. Again, I don't know if we've ever seen something like this on a stream before. This is the and that's not necessarily saying this is a ridiculously bad thing, because again, they're both broad rotations, but this is definitely one of the weirder things we've seen on stream. Again, we have a double hook echo. That is so weird. Goodness gracious. Okay, so they're both weakened out a ton by now, actually. But, again, this is definitely a huge pocket of damaging winds, I'll say that much. Again, north of Swansboro at this point. Fascinating stuff indeed. So again, Swansboro at this point, it's likely not even raining anymore. You're fine. Again, downtown is fine, that is. Again, I'd almost be ready to give the all clear for this, but again, just the fact that this storm has recycled several times makes me want to say, hey, stay in your safe place if you are in, Pelletier, west of Pelletier, in that region there. What time for tornadoes in North Dakota? So that's actually more of a conditional risk. I really don't think we're going to see any tornadoes up there today. It's looking like this event's going to be a huge bust. But if we were to see a tornado in North Dakota, it would likely be within the next several hours. It would probably be between now and around 10 p.m. Central. How's the weather in Central Illinois? Amazing. Beautiful. It is hot, though. Nothing like what you got down there in Texas, but it's hot. Whenever you're in the 90s and the humidity's there as well, it gets pretty brutal. Let's just look in Houston, though. You're still in the high 80s, and again, obviously, the 90s today was only during, the afternoon, but you're still in the high 80s. You've got really high dew points as well. Dew points into the 70s, so it's pretty brutal there. You're in a drought? Same. It's so dry as well. Yeah, the entire Midwest is under a pretty bad drought. If I just go ahead and bring up the drought monitor right now, this is some interesting stuff. We'll zoom in on the Midwest here. Pretty much the entirety of the Midwest right now is under a little bit of a drought. Again, it's a little bit more extreme in portions of southern Ohio. But really the entirety of the Midwest, you could say it's dry out there. Again, the dark red shade, those are what we call exceptional droughts. Those are droughts that you see once in a lifetime, really. That's like as bad as it gets. Then you've got the light red shade, the extreme droughts. Those are still pretty significant. Then you got severe droughts in the dark orange. The tannish colors, moderate drought. And then the yellow zone is just where it's abnormally dry. Not necessarily in a significant drought. Dry up in the northwest Illinois, but perfect weather. Yep. Yeah, no problem. Modema. You'll have to let me know how to pronounce that. Not exactly sure. '91 in Spring, Texas. But yeah, again, this North Dakota risk was quite conditional, and it doesn't look like it's going to play out, so that's good. They were even talking about issuing a tornado watch, but they, again, the threat is just not there at this point. Again, it's safe to say that this was a pretty big nothing burger. If we go and take a look at the HRRR, though, it is trying to hang on to the idea that by 9 p.m. we'll still see some more supercells fire off, but, earlier I was saying that'd be 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and now they're pushing it back to 9. They just keep trying to hang on to the idea that we're going to see supercells. I just don't think it's going to happen, and even if it does happen, we're not going to have a huge tornado threat, and even if we were to, that would still be pushing into Canada. We did just get a severe thunderstorm running southeast of Minot, North Dakota for 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail, but that is not a tornadic storm, so. Yeah, we're not getting it here in the Midwest either, Sam, so. Yeah, there was some big flooding in Europe recently. So again, at this point, we can give you the all clear. If you are in this tornado warning, it does not look like this storm's going to recycle. We do have a pretty big wind bag heading for Silverdale, but no sort of tornado threat with this at this point. There's a lot of rain and wind, a little bit of lightning, and that's what a lot of these storms have been, so. Again, I'm glad we were able to help somebody out, today. Yeah, I heard about that EF0. It swept onto shore. It was a water spout. But yeah, if we look at the HRRR, like at the, let's go back to like the 15Z here, we can say that it was, we can see that it was saying that we would have supercells at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and now it's saying, hey, let's wait until 8 or 9 p.m. until we say that we're going to see supercells. It's just not happening. Not at all. Yeah, no problem. Modeme. Modeme. I'm terrible with names, I'm sorry. Yeah, the fires in California are pretty bad right now. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like things are going to be pretty tame, though, for the next couple of weeks. I do think that tomorrow could be interesting. I think that we could see a tornado or two tomorrow up into, like, Montana, actually, which you wouldn't expect. But I don't think we're going to have any real severe weather risk after that for the next couple of weeks. We've been in a calm pattern. I think we're going to continue to be until maybe, like you just said, the very end of September. We are seeing, like, a mega trough coming through during odd runs of the GFS especially. And guys, I just gotta denounce this really quickly. This is ridiculous. I hate the GFS for this. Yeah. No, this is not happening. No, this will probably not happen for the next 5 years. That is crazy. That would literally be one of the most historic hurricanes to ever hit the Gulf if that were to happen. That's insane, dude. Look at that. Yeah, the GFS has been saying that for the past couple of runs now, though, that we are going to see something crazy in the Gulf towards the end of September. So that's all you should take away from that. There is some energy out there. Yeah, September's been really tame compared to the last few months this year. And we haven't really been in tornado season for a while, but tornado season lasted a little longer this year than it usually does. It lasted towards, like, July, really. We had tornado emergencies, so many of them this year. Sometimes not deserved, but most of the time they were. Yeah. Yep, never developed officially into Tropical Storm Helen. It was just potential Tropical Cyclone 8, Invest 95 AL, whatever you want to call it there. So again, this tornado warning here expires in 2 minutes, so we're chilling. What did you guys think of the little video that me and Mr. Storm put together? You wouldn't think it. The video's not like any crazy, amazing edit, but we spent a lot of time on that thing. Way more than we should have. For it only being a 1.5-minute video. What's up, B-Dog? Wow, so Oklahoma, by the way, has had this one storm that's been going for hours upon hours on end for a while. Just absolutely dumping rain, and it's been pretty stationary too, which has led to some big-time flash flooding. What's up, Kenny? Certified dub of the video, let's go. GFS Ian. Yeah, this storm is still going. Not showing any signs of stopping anytime soon. It's going to keep pushing south very slowly, so... Again, it is currently producing ping-pong ball-sized hail, 70-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts as it approaches Cedardale, Oklahoma, so look out for that. Although it could genuinely weaken out by the time it gets to you because of how slow-moving that is, so... We no longer have a tornado warning in North Carolina. Francine was interesting because it was supposed to weaken a little before landfall, but became a Cat 2, exactly. Rapid intensification, not necessarily. I wouldn't say happened with Francine, but it got close to it towards the end of its, right before its landfall. And even pretty far inland, considering how much wind shear there was, it's impressive how far inland it survived. Like, New Orleans had one of the biggest flash floods it's seen in, like, since, I'd say, Ida. It's crazy. Also, I just want to put this message out there. Don't ever do anything you see me do in one of my storm vlog videos. I'm stupid, so... Again, that is not a good example of what you should do during situations like that. But, I kind of know what I'm doing. A little bit. Just a little bit. So... Just enough to the point where I feel comfortable running outside while my entire world crumbles around me. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued. That's going out for parts of Arizona. For Manzoro. Move indoors immediately. 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-sized hail. This is moving... northeast at 15 miles an hour. Another slow mover here. Very funny, B-Dog. I saw your message before you retracted it. Let's get Davis to 1.5K. Hey, 1.5K, if that happens before Halloween, that would be a huge W. I don't know if I'm going to do any more Twisted videos anytime soon. And whenever I do them, it's kind of a last-minute thing. So, we'll see. But, I don't usually play with viewers anyway, because then if I play with one viewer, I have to play with every viewer, so... But yeah, we'll see. What's up, Sean? Special stream for hitting 1.5K. Hey, I'd do it. We'd do a big stream. It wasn't even that long ago we hit 1,000. I don't know how we're already at 1.5K. It's wild. I accidentally hit the delete button. Oh. Thought you were trying to hide it from me. You have rain tomorrow. Nice. A lot of us need it right now in the U.S., so I'm just going to say nice. Yeah, especially out there in Virginia, you need the rain. Looks like things are pretty brutal for most of the state. Got a severe drought in the extreme northwest corner of the state. So again, we were going to be live for the entirety of the event up here in the upper western Midwest, but it looks like a nothing burger to me. Again, this one storm in North Dakota is really all we have to watch, and it's just going to be a damaging wind threat, so... I don't know. Doesn't look like anything super crazy is going to happen anytime soon. So we'll see. Drought emergency. You have 0.61 inches of rain. What's your level of drought? Let's see. Well, let me just bring up the whole map of South Carolina, honestly. You know, we'll just do the southeast. Here's the drought in the southeast. So, Alabama, out of all the southeastern states, Alabama by far has the worst. The entire state being under some sort of drought level. Georgia's got it pretty rough in the western part of the state. We've got some drought conditions in extreme western North Carolina, extreme western South Carolina. Some droughts in northern Virginia there. But again, it's honestly much worse in the Midwest. I don't know, what region is West Virginia counted in on here? If it would like to load. In the Northeast. That's really weird, but whatever. Again, a exceptional drought for parts of West Virginia and Ohio, which is the highest level in the drought monitor scale. QLCS, yeah. This looks like a big-time damaging wind event coming through for north-central North Dakota soon, so I would look out for that. But it's nothing that you guys haven't seen before, that's for sure. It's going to bring some heavy rain, though, that's for sure. Yeah, actually, we're thinking it's going to get up to hurricane strength soon, Sean. We're not able to see it on the National Hurricane Center's track just yet because it doesn't go far enough out. But a lot of our members from Tropical Tidbits are thinking that this could go well into hurricane territory. We just bring up the model intensity guidance. Originally, it was a lot more aggressive. We had several members poking around in the Category 2 range, but we still got a couple saying this could become a mid to high range Category 1. Quite a few of them, actually, 3 of them. But most of them are actually saying that this will just be a high-end tropical storm. Some are even poking at a low-end tropical storm, so we'll see. A lot of uncertainty with that, but it's just chilling right now. It's going to be a big fish storm. So if you know any fish out in this area, make sure to give them a call or text. But they should be fine here. Literal definition of a big-time fish storm. I'm still just trying to get over the GFS. It is just Gordon right now. Again, we almost had Helen, but that didn't end up happening. I don't know why they didn't give it the name Helen, though. It brought damaging winds, flooding rains, and tornadoes. Storm surge as well. I mean, that sounds like a tropical storm to me, but whatever. Again, if this were to happen, which it won't, I want to repeat, this is not going to happen. This is over 300 hours out we're forecasting. But even considering those factors, the GFS is being kind of stupid here, but this is not going to happen. But if that were to happen, that would be big, obviously. I mean, no duh. But that would be like Debbie times 10. If we get a storm, I will move to Illinois. What? Why? We have some storms in northwest Kansas bringing damaging winds that have been going for a while. Your friend Dave, tell him about Gordon. Do it. The fish need to know about it. Think all the storms want to come to you. Where are you at? We got a big band of storms here about to move on to shore in North Carolina. They're moving north very slowly, so they will make it there eventually. Are you actually moving to Salem? That's cool. That's not super far away, so. It's actually not far away at all. It's like 3 counties away from me. That's cool. Oh, you're not? But you'd like to? You love living in Rockford, Wisconsin? You're from Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm going back later in the week. You definitely weren't ready for that Janesville tornado. You had that strong EF2 in February, too, which has never happened before in Wisconsin. But that was more towards the Evansville region. Plan on moving to a different state when you're older? I don't know. I think I'm just going to chill in the Midwest. Obviously, I'm going to go chasing, so I'll be all over the place, but see, I still don't really have a plan on if I want to be like a full-time chaser, part-time streams, severe weather coverage, but we'll see. I think chasing could just be an occasional fun thing for me to do, because obviously Well, I guess not. Obviously, you guys don't really know a lot about me and my personal life, but I'm not somebody that likes to go traveling a ton. So. But for storm chasing, it'd be worth it. He lives near I-57 between Salem and Kimundi. Down there in the, what would you call this? South Central, or just straight Southern Illinois. We got chase buddies. Let's go. One day, whenever the Davis Says Weather Channel, well, if the Davis Says Weather Channel goes big, we have to do a meetup with all the OGs. Gonna have rain on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And them cornfields, oh yeah, I can tell you all about those. Welcome to the Midwest, buddy. Obviously, I'm further north, but still, I, been down in this region. Been there, done that. It's not that different from where I live, though, so. Same stuff. Corn and semis going down the interstate. That's it. Dude, Mr. Storm, that's gonna be the first person I meet up with. If I had the chance. I'm sorry. I love you guys, but he would be the first person. What would be cool? On Stormskate, you're gonna have lightning. Corn and Walmarts. Not too many Walmarts in my neck of the woods. I mean, we have them, but it's not like an insane amount. We definitely do have them, though. Actually, there are quite a... I guess we do have a ton of them. I don't know how much the average area has, though, so... Anyway. Going to Nebraska when there's a derecho, you never know tune. You start flying in the winds. You had Chipotle today? W. I love Chipotle. This is the most chill stream I think we've had in a while. Things have been... I just realized the title has been Tornado Warning in North Carolina this whole time. I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. People have probably been joining and freaking out. I think this is a good place to end off on anyway. We've gotten a lot done. Well, we've just been yapping. But yeah, things were quite intense there for a little bit, so I think we did see a tornado, at least briefly. It's almost a guarantee at this point. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back live tomorrow covering tornadoes.